My beloved child, wait, there is something gentle moving toward you right now, something you almost missed because it didn't arrive with noise or urgency, but with a quiet certainty that feels unfamiliar and yet deeply known, as if a part of your soul recognized it before your mind could even understand. And maybe you've felt it already, in that brief pause between your thoughts, that moment where everything slowed down just enough for you to wonder, why do I feel this shift? Don't brush that feeling away. Stay here a little longer, because something important is waiting for you in this very moment. There is a message unfolding, not written in words you can hold, but in emotions that seem to rise without explanation, a calm that replaces confusion, a warmth that arrives without invitation, a sense that something, somewhere, is aligning just for you. Pause for a second. Have you noticed how certain moments lately feel different? Not dramatic, not overwhelming, just quietly meaningful. Like something behind the scenes is gently rearranging the path beneath your feet. This is not coincidence. There is a presence of love reaching toward you, not to interrupt your life, but to guide it softly, to remind you of something you've always known but may have forgotten in the noise of everything around you. And here's the part most people miss. This kind of message doesn't come when everything is loud and clear. It comes in stillness. It comes when you're almost about to look away. It comes when your heart is open, even if you don't realize it. So don't skip this moment, because what's unfolding right now is not random, it's intentional in a way that is quiet, precise, and deeply personal. There is something about you, something you may not fully see yet, that has been quietly growing, not in a way others can easily recognize, but in the way your thoughts have changed, the way your patience has deepened, the way you've started to understand things without needing explanation. And someone, or something, has noticed. Not in a distant way, not in a vague or unclear way, but in a way that feels close, attentive, and aware of even the smallest shifts within you. You might feel a subtle pull right now, like you're being guided to stay, to listen, to not rush past this. That feeling isn't accidental. It's the beginning of understanding. What if this moment, this exact moment, is the one where everything begins to make sense? Take a breath, not because you need to, but because something within you is preparing to receive something meaningful. There has been a quiet observation of your journey. Not judgment, not pressure, just awareness. The kind that sees your efforts even when no one else does. The kind that understands your silence, your questions, your moments of doubt. And this message, this gentle reaching, carries a simple but powerful truth. You are not overlooked. Not in the way you sometimes feel. Not in the way your mind tries to convince you when things seem unclear or slow. There is a deeper layer where everything about you is seen, your intentions, your resilience, your quiet strength. Stay with this, because what comes next is something most people never allow themselves to fully hear. There is a timing to everything, but not the kind that feels forced or rushed. A natural unfolding. And right now, you are closer to something meaningful than you realize. You may not see the full picture yet, and that's okay. You're not meant to. Because if you saw everything at once, you wouldn't feel this curiosity, this quiet anticipation, this sense that something beautiful is just beginning to reveal itself. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly paused and listened to what your heart was trying to tell you? Not your thoughts, not your fears, but that deeper voice that doesn't shout, doesn't rush, doesn't argue, it simply knows. That voice has been guiding you toward this moment. And now, something is responding. It's subtle, almost like a whisper you can feel more than hear. A reassurance that you're not drifting, even if it sometimes feels that way. A reminder that your path is not random, it's unfolding in ways you're only just beginning to understand. Don't skip this part, because this is where everything starts to shift. There has been something forming around you, not visible, not obvious, but real. A kind of alignment that happens when your inner world begins to match what's meant for you externally. And that alignment is starting to open a door. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but slowly, in a way that allows you to grow into it rather than be overwhelmed by it. You might notice small changes first, moments that feel slightly different, conversations that carry unexpected meaning, thoughts that feel clearer than before. These are not random. They are signs of something gently moving into place. And here's what makes this moment so rare. Most people overlook it. They rush past it. They doubt it before it has a chance to fully unfold. But you're still here, listening, feeling, noticing. That alone changes everything. Because awareness is what allows this message to reach you fully. And there's more, something deeper that hasn't fully revealed itself yet. You may have been wondering, why now? Why this feeling? Why this quiet sense that something is happening just beneath the surface? The answer isn't something you need to search for, it's something you're about to experience. There has been a preparation happening, not just around you, but within you. A gradual shaping of your perspective, your patience, your understanding. And now, you are ready to notice what was always trying to reach you. Stay a little longer, because this next realization might feel unexpected. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to chase clarity. You don't need to rush toward answers. Because what is meant to reach you, will reach you in a way that feels natural, undeniable, and deeply aligned with who you are becoming. And right now, something is already on its way. You might feel it as a sense of calm, or a sudden understanding, or even a quiet emotional shift that you can't fully explain. That's not coincidence. That's connection. A loving message, not spoken loudly, but felt deeply, is finding its way to you. And the more you allow yourself to stay present, to not rush past this, the clearer it will become. Because this moment, this exact moment, is not just another passing feeling. It's the beginning of something you've been waiting for, even if you didn't know how to recognize it before. And just when you think you understand it, something even more meaningful is about to reveal itself. Something just shifted. Did you feel that subtle change, like the air around your thoughts became lighter for a brief second? It's easy to miss, but it matters more than it seems. Because this is where the message begins to take shape in a way you can actually recognize. There is a reason your attention is still here, a reason you didn't scroll past, didn't walk away, didn't ignore that quiet pull. It's because what is reaching you now is becoming clearer, not louder, not overwhelming, just more real. And here's where it deepens. You may have noticed, certain memories, certain feelings, certain reflections have started resurfacing lately, not in a heavy way, but gently, like they're asking to be seen from a new perspective. Why now? Pause, don't rush that question. Because the answer is not in the past itself, it's in what you're becoming because of it. There is a connection forming between who you were, who you are, and who you're slowly stepping into. And this message, this loving presence, is guiding that connection into alignment. You are being shown something, but not all at once. Because understanding doesn't arrive as a single moment. It unfolds, piece by piece, feeling by feeling, realization by realization. And right now, another layer is opening. Let this sink in. There has been someone thinking about you in a way that is deeper than surface thoughts. Not constantly, not obsessively, but meaningfully. The kind of thought that pauses, that reflects, that carries emotion with it. You might not know who, and that's okay. Because this isn't about identifying someone, it's about understanding what that energy represents. It represents connection. It represents recognition. It represents the fact that your presence, your existence, leaves an impact, even when you don't see it happening. And this is where many people doubt, they question, they step back. But you didn't. You stayed. And because of that, this message continues to unfold. There is something else you need to notice. Have you felt a quiet sense of being guided recently? Not controlled, not pushed, just gently nudged in certain directions, certain thoughts, certain decisions? That's not random. It's the same presence, the same message, moving through different layers of your awareness. And here's the part that most people never fully realize. You are not separate from this process. You are part of it. Your awareness, your attention, your willingness to stay present, is what allows this message to reach its full meaning. So don't skip this feeling, because it's leading you somewhere important. Something is aligning, not just around you, but through you. And as this alignment continues, things that once felt confusing will start to feel simple, things that once felt distant will begin to feel close, and things that once felt uncertain will slowly begin to make sense. But not all at once. Never all at once. Because there is beauty in the unfolding. There is meaning in the waiting. And there is something powerful in realizing that you don't need to have everything figured out to feel that something meaningful is happening. Let me ask you something again, but this time, feel the question instead of answering it quickly. What if you are exactly where you need to be, not by accident, but by quiet design? What if every delay, every pause, every moment of uncertainty, was not holding you back, but preparing you to recognize something you would have otherwise missed? Stay with that thought, because it carries more truth than it first appears. There is a soft reassurance moving through this moment, like a reminder that you haven't been forgotten, that your path hasn't been overlooked, that your journey is still unfolding exactly as it should. And here's where it becomes even more meaningful. This message is not just about comfort, it's about awareness. It's about helping you see something within yourself that you may have underestimated. You have changed, maybe not in ways that are obvious to others, but in ways that matter deeply. Your perspective, your patience, your understanding, they've evolved quietly. And now, you're starting to notice it. That's why this moment feels different. That's why this message feels real. Because it's meeting you at a point where you are ready to understand it. And something else is coming into view. There is a moment ahead of you, not far, not distant, where something will feel unexpectedly clear. Not dramatic, not overwhelming, just clear. A realization, a recognition, a feeling that settles in and makes you pause for a second longer than usual. When that moment comes, don't ignore it, because it will carry the continuation of what you're beginning to understand right now. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to predict it. You just need to stay aware. And that awareness, that quiet attentiveness, is already growing within you. You can feel it, can't you? That subtle shift, that calm curiosity, that sense that something meaningful is unfolding even if you can't fully explain it yet. That's not imagination. That's alignment. And as this continues, you'll begin to notice something else. Your energy, your presence, the way you move through moments, it will start to feel different, more grounded, more certain, more connected to something deeper than surface-level thoughts. And this is where the message begins to move closer to its true meaning, because what's reaching you is not just reassurance. It's preparation. Preparation for something that is slowly, gently, making its way toward you. And just when you begin to feel like you understand the direction, another layer is about to reveal itself. There's a quiet moment just ahead, not loud, not dramatic, but powerful in a way that only you will truly recognize. It doesn't arrive with noise, it arrives with a feeling, the kind that makes you pause without knowing why. And this is where everything begins to deepen. Because what has been reaching you, what you've been sensing in fragments, is now starting to gather into something more complete. Not fully visible yet, but closer than before. You might notice it in the way your thoughts are slowing down, like you're no longer chasing answers, but allowing them to come to you. That shift, that calm, is not something you created by force. It's something you stepped into. And that matters. Because now, you're not just receiving this message, you're beginning to understand it. Pause here for a second. Have you realized how different this moment feels compared to before? Not because something outside has suddenly changed, but because something inside you has become more open, more aware, more ready. This is the space where clarity begins to enter. Not all at once, but in small, meaningful realizations. And here's one of them. You were never as lost as you thought. Even in the moments where things felt unclear, where direction seemed missing, where answers didn't come, there was still a quiet movement guiding you forward. You just couldn't see it yet. But now, you're starting to feel it. And that feeling is leading you somewhere very specific. There is a connection forming, not just between you and this message, but between you and a moment that is drawing closer. A moment that will feel familiar, even though it hasn't happened yet. Strange, isn't it? How something can feel known, before it fully arrives. That's because part of you already recognizes it. Part of you has been preparing for it without even realizing. And this is where the message becomes more personal. You've been carrying something within you, something unspoken, something that didn't always have the right words or the right time to be expressed. But it was always there. And now, it's being acknowledged. Not by chance, not randomly, but intentionally. There is a presence of understanding around you right now. Something that sees beyond what you show. Something that recognizes what you've held quietly within. And this recognition, this silent awareness, is what's creating the next shift. You may feel it as a gentle release. A moment where something you've been holding on to begins to soften. A thought that no longer feels as heavy as it once did. A question that doesn't need an urgent answer anymore. That's not you losing something. That's you making space. Space for something new to enter. And here's where most people miss the meaning. They think nothing is happening. They think it's just another ordinary moment. But you're starting to see differently. You're starting to notice that the most meaningful changes don't announce themselves loudly. They arrive quietly, and they stay. Let me ask you something, and don't answer too quickly. What if the thing you've been waiting for has also been waiting for you to reach this exact state of awareness? Not earlier, not later. Now, because now, you wouldn't overlook it. Now, you wouldn't doubt it the same way. Now, you would recognize it. And that recognition is everything. Stay with this feeling, don't rush past it. Because something is very close now. Not distant, not far away, close. You might begin to notice subtle signs. A moment that feels slightly more meaningful than usual. A thought that stays with you longer than expected. An interaction that carries a deeper sense of connection. These are not random details. They are pieces of something that is slowly coming together. And you are at the center of it. Not by force, not by chance, but because you are meant to experience this unfolding in your own way. There's also something else, something even more important. You are beginning to trust differently. Not blindly, not without awareness, but with a quiet confidence that you didn't have before. A confidence that doesn't need constant reassurance. A confidence that feels steady, grounded, real. And this is what allows the next part of the message to reach you fully. Because what's coming requires you to be present, not distracted, not doubtful, present. And you're already stepping into that state. You can feel it, can't you? That subtle certainty. That calm curiosity. That quiet sense that something meaningful is just about to reveal itself. This is not the end of the message. This is the moment right before it becomes clear. And just when everything begins to align in a way you can finally understand. There's one final realization waiting, one that changes how you see everything that led you here. There is a moment, so gentle, so easy to overlook, yet it carries the kind of clarity that doesn't fade once you feel it. It's already moving toward you, not rushing, not forcing, just arriving at the exact pace your awareness can hold. And this is where everything begins to come together. Not in a sudden, overwhelming way, but like pieces quietly finding their place after a long time of being scattered. You don't have to search for it anymore. You don't have to question every feeling, because something within you already knows. Pause here, just for a breath. Have you noticed how you're no longer trying as hard to understand everything? How the need to figure it all out is slowly being replaced by a quiet acceptance, a calm readiness. That's not giving up. That's alignment. That's what happens when you stop resisting the natural flow of what is meant to reach you. And now, you're ready to receive the part that was always meant for you. There is a realization approaching, one that doesn't shock you, doesn't overwhelm you, but settles into your awareness like something you've always known deep down. It's this. You were never being delayed. You were being prepared. Everything that felt like waiting, everything that felt uncertain, every moment that made you question your path, it wasn't holding you back. It was shaping your ability to recognize what truly matters when it finally appears. And now, you can see it differently. You can feel it. There is something meaningful entering your life, not as a sudden change, but as a quiet continuation of everything you've been becoming. And this is where it becomes deeply personal. Because this message, this loving presence, it was never separate from you. It has always been connected to your growth, your awareness, your journey. That's why it feels so familiar. That's why it feels like something you've been waiting for, even if you didn't have the words for it before. Stay here, don't rush this feeling, because what you're sensing right now is the beginning of trust. Not forced trust, not blind belief, but a steady, grounded knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. And from this place, something new begins. You may start to notice a shift in how you see things. Situations that once felt confusing now feel simpler. Thoughts that once felt heavy now feel lighter. Moments that once passed unnoticed now carry a quiet meaning. That's the change. That's the unfolding. And it's happening within you. There is also a connection becoming clearer, not something distant or abstract, but something that feels close, real, and aligned with who you are becoming. It may show itself in ways you don't expect. A moment of understanding. A feeling of recognition. A sense that something is finally falling into place. And when it does, you won't need to question it, because it will feel natural. It will feel right. It will feel like something that belongs in your life without effort. And this is the part most people wait for without realizing. Not the loud arrival, but the quiet certainty. The kind that doesn't need proof. The kind that doesn't need explanation. The kind that simply is. Let this sink in. You are not searching anymore. You are receiving. And there is a difference. Searching comes with tension, with doubt, with the feeling of something missing. Receiving comes with calm, with openness, with the understanding that what is meant for you is already finding its way. And right now, you are in that space. That's why this moment feels different. That's why this message feels complete, yet still unfolding. Because it doesn't end here. It continues, not outside of you, but through you, in the way you move forward, in the way you notice things, in the way you trust what feels right without needing to overthink it. And here's the final part, the realization that brings everything together. You were never waiting for a message to arrive. You were becoming the person who could finally hear it. And now, you do, not as words, not as something distant, but as a quiet, steady understanding that stays with you even after this moment passes. So take this with you. Not as something temporary, but as something real. Because what reached you here will continue to guide you in ways you'll begin to notice more and more. And just when you think this was the end, you'll realize it was only the beginning. And just when everything feels like it has settled, something even softer begins to rise, almost like a second wave, quieter than the first, but deeper in a way that reaches places within you that words rarely touch. Stay here for a moment, because this part is easy to miss. You might think the message has already completed itself, that everything has already been revealed. But look closer, there's still something unfolding, something that doesn't announce itself, yet carries a meaning that lingers longer than anything before it. It begins with a feeling, a stillness, but not empty, a calm, but not passive, a presence that feels like it's sitting gently beside you, not asking anything from you, just allowing you to feel seen without explanation. Have you noticed that? That subtle sense, like you don't need to prove anything right now, you don't need to explain your journey, you don't need to rush toward the next step, because in this exact moment, you are enough. Let that settle in, slowly. There was a time when you felt like you had to become something more to be understood, to be recognized, to be valued. But now, something within you is realizing a quieter truth. You were never incomplete. You were unfolding. And that changes everything. Because when you understand that, truly understand it, you stop chasing validation, and you start recognizing your own presence as something meaningful on its own. And here's where the message becomes even more intimate. There is a gentle acknowledgement surrounding you right now, not loud, not dramatic, but steady and real. The kind of acknowledgement that doesn't come and go, it stays. It has seen your quiet efforts, the ones no one else noticed. It has felt your silent strength, the kind you didn't even realize you carried. It has understood your moments of uncertainty, without ever judging them. And now, it's reflecting something back to you. Not through words, but through awareness. Through this feeling that you are not behind, not lost, not forgotten, but exactly where you need to be, at a point where everything begins to make sense in a deeper way. Pause, because this next realization is important. What you've been searching for externally has already begun forming within you, not as a final answer, but as a quiet knowing. A knowing that doesn't need constant reassurance. A knowing that doesn't disappear when things get uncertain. A knowing that simply stays. And this is what changes how everything unfolds from here. Because now, you're no longer reacting to life in the same way. You're responding with awareness. You're moving with intention, even in the smallest moments. You're noticing what feels right, not based on pressure, but based on a deeper connection within yourself. And that connection is what this entire message has been guiding you toward. You might feel it now, more clearly than before. That steady calm. That grounded presence. That quiet confidence that doesn't need to prove itself. That's you. Not the version shaped by doubt. Not the version shaped by uncertainty. But the version of you that was always there, just waiting to be recognized. And now, you see it. Even if only for a moment, you feel it. And that's enough. Because once you feel it, even once, it doesn't disappear. It becomes something you can return to, something that stays with you, something that grows stronger over time. There is also something else, something that is only now beginning to reveal itself. A sense of direction, but not forced. A clarity, but not rigid. A movement, but not rushed. It's subtle, but it's there. You might notice it in the way certain choices feel easier. In the way certain paths feel more natural. In the way you no longer feel the need to question every step. That's not coincidence. That's alignment continuing to unfold. And here's the part that brings everything together in a way that feels complete. You don't need to hold on to this message tightly. You don't need to remember every word. Because what truly matters has already reached you. It's not in the sentences. It's in the feeling. The feeling that something meaningful touched your awareness. The feeling that you are not alone in your journey. The feeling that you are supported in ways you may not always see, but can deeply sense. And that feeling will stay, even after this moment passes. Even after your attention shifts. Even when life continues moving forward. It will remain, quietly guiding, gently reminding, softly grounding you whenever you need it. So take a breath. Not because you need to, but because something within you has already relaxed, already softened, already understood. And as you move forward from here, notice what feels different, not dramatically, not all at once, but gently, because the message didn't just reach you. It became part of you, and that is where its true meaning begins.